What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Marty coming to you with another video. Here to give my review for the brand new and final installment in the Jurassic World franchise, Jurassic World Dominion. Now, before we get into it, if y'all could please leave a like and subscribe, follow your boy, that would help me a lot, and I would very much appreciate it. But now, let's get into it. So, Jurassic World Dominion takes place a few years after Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and the dinosaurs are here, they're in the world, and they're normalized. My issue with the movie was that in the last movie, Fallen Kingdom, the dinosaurs were let out into the world, and hence Jurassic World. So it's like, it's a culmination, it's been leading up to this. But in this movie, they normalized these dinosaurs, you know. In the movie, we see some dinosaurs that are out in the open, and humans are like, you know, basically, it's a dinosaur. And kind of like my biggest issue that we see in the movie is that there's some in black markets. So they're just buying and selling these dinosaurs. And I'm like, that's a dinosaur, you know, even if they're plant eaters, they can very much well be dangerous. They should all be feared no matter what. And what I feel like we didn't get to see a whole lot was these dinosaurs out in the world. We see like a quick montage in the beginning of the film, and I believe after the film, if I'm not mistaken, but for sure in the beginning, and that's it. Like, I feel in the direction should have been right after Fallen Kingdom, where the dinosaurs were released into the world. You know, it should have been like more like post-apocalyptic, or like humans trying to find a way to live with these dinosaurs, not normalize them. And that's basically what I didn't like about this film, is that, as I mentioned, everything's been leading up to this, for these dinosaurs to be normalized and then go in a completely different direction. The plot is another Apple CEO wannabe lookalike villain who wants control. He wants control of like the food source, and so there's a horrendous subplot in a Jurassic World movie about these locusts eating crops from farms. Like I said, the Apple CEO wannabe, he wants to control all the food supply. And yeah, like, we did not need a locust subplot in a Jurassic World dinosaur movie. That's just because there's some, you know, dinosaur DNA in it, doesn't mean we actually need that. It's a culmination of these last three movies. Dinosaurs are in the world. We don't need a movie about locusts and the food supply. Like, it's just nonsense. It's mind-boggling for real that the directors or producers, whoever was behind this movie, went and said it was okay to go in this direction. And that villain was actually pretty weird too. The actor, I don't know what he's in, other than being Andrew Garfield's, Peter Parker's actual father in the Amazing Spider-Man franchise. But other than that, like, he just came across weird. When he would talk, he would like stutter and also stop and lose his train of thought and went to something else so quick. Like, it was just weird. He was so unrelatable, and it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense why they went in this direction. But there were some good things going for it. The main one being the main draw. The big three officially returned since the original Jurassic Park. Alan Grant, Ellie Statler, and Dr. Ian Malcolm all returned. Jeff Goldblum, I can easily say he stole the show of this movie. But just all three of them, or even if it was just Dr. Alan Grant and Ellie, like, just seeing them on the screen return, you know, they still have that chemistry. Every scene they were in was just magical. You know, it took me back definitely to the first Jurassic Park, and I had a smile on my face every time. Even if they were talking about the whole locusts, whatever, like, it was good just to see them on screen. And, you know, it was just so much nostalgia and definitely some fan service moments, and most of them being with them. And yeah, I mean, that's basically what it had going for in this movie, the best parts. Claire and Owen relationship in this movie has evolved. They are now living together. And I gotta say, I love seeing them on screen too. Their chemistry is believable for the most part. And obviously, we've spent so much time with them in the previous movies. So I mean, I for one love them, and like I said, I love their chemistry. So I mean, I was happy about that. And we also got some familiar faces returning from the franchise, from the Jurassic World franchise. We had Justice Smith, who I forget his character's name, but he was in Fallen Kingdom. And we also get the actor who played Bishop in the X-Men Days of Future Past. And he was in the first movie with Owen. He was one of the Raptor people, but he was like Owen's friend, main friend, best friend, whatever, in that film. It was cool to see these, normal faces return, but it didn't really matter because of what they had to do in the film. Also, the girl who cured Blue in Fallen Kingdom returns. It was Justice Smith's partner. But also, the clone girl from Fallen Kingdom. I can't remember the actor's name or her character, but she's kind of a plot device for this film. Owen and Claire see her as like their daughter, and when she gets captured by these people, which is basically working for the Apple CEO wannabe for Biosyn, that's the guy's company, they lose their minds, they go after her. That leads to another unnecessary kind of, well, it's part of the plot, but it was just unnecessary sequences where Owen and Claire, they meet up with a raptor trainer guy from first Jurassic World, as I mentioned, and it almost seems, it felt like a spy movie, a spy thriller movie. And the action set pieces were amazing, especially with the raptors chasing Owen through Malta, I believe. It was cool, but like, why did it have to be a movie like that? They enter this black market, they're trying to get answers so then they know where that clone girl is being taken. But the whole black market, thing, to me, just took me out of place. Like I said, this is a Jurassic World movie. Everything's been leading up to this. But the main issue, well, one of the main issues is that they normalized these dinosaurs. And yeah, it took me out, it felt like it didn't belong. And it was not what I expected in a Jurassic World ending of a trilogy movie. There were some cool new dinosaurs in this movie. It almost felt, I believe they mentioned, but I can't really remember too much of it because for the most part I was just disappointed, underwhelmed, and it took me out. I was out of the movie for quite a bit. I honestly caught myself falling asleep a couple times, but I'm like, no, I gotta pull through. My son enjoyed it, my 8-year-old, and yeah, I had to do it for this video. But yeah, there were some new dinosaurs. They were feathered, something where I guess they should have been more like in real life. And those dinosaurs were cool. Every dinosaur scene was awesome. Like I said, I just wish there was more of it. I wish it was more like apocalyptic, or they were more to be feared with. But dinosaurs were still cool. I mean, they should be. It's a Jurassic World movie. And I was completely underwhelmed for the finale. Like, they try to recreate the triple threat battle scene in Jurassic World, but I just feel like it fell short. The T-Rex Rexy, she made an appearance, but it felt lackluster. They introduced 2 new dinosaurs, but I feel like we didn't have more time with those dinosaurs. So for me, when I saw them in like the triple threat match, it was just like, I didn't really care for it. And also, I couldn't really see too. I felt like it was way too dark, and they had a big old light, all over the place, and I don't know. I just wasn't digging it. It was truly underwhelming. Once it was over, I was like, But at the end of that triple threat fight between the dinosaurs, we get happy endings for these storylines, for the Jurassic World storylines and also the Jurassic Park storyline. I forgot what happened with Dr. Ian Malcolm with Jeff Goldblum. I forgot where he ended up in, but I know Alan Grant and Ellie finally share a kiss seems like they're gonna be together going forward. She asks him to go with her somewhere, and yeah, as I mentioned, they share a kiss. It was beautiful. It was like finally. And Owen and Claire live their big, not their big, but their three little family with the clone girl. And it was cute. Definitely not what I expected, from a culmination of all these movies, including the Jurassic Park movies. It was underwhelming, and honestly, I feel like I enjoyed Fallen Kingdom more for the fact that this movie didn't feel as cohesive. I felt like it was all over the place, and for, like I said, these plots were just unnecessary for what this Jurassic World movie should have been. And for that, I'm gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10. I wanted to give it a 7, but I'm like, a 7 to me, I think is a C, and I'm like, I don't know. I just don't know if it deserves that, because although, as I mentioned, there were some redeeming qualities with the original big three coming back. Their chemistry was the draw, the fan service moments, and the dinosaurs, that helped me make this decision for my review. But the subplots with the locusts, how they normalize the dinosaurs, and how it just felt like a spy thriller action film in a sense too. Yeah, I feel like it definitely should have been better. I didn't expect it to be under Fallen Kingdom, but yeah, it is. So in order, my favorite movies of the Jurassic World franchise would be Jurassic World number one, and Fallen Kingdom number two, and then Jurassic World Dominion number three. And the overall, I still have Jurassic Park, the first one, as my number one. I'd probably have Jurassic World for my second, and then I'd have Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom ahead of the second Jurassic Park, and then I would have Jurassic Park after that. And I think I would put Jurassic World Dominion second to last, and then I would have Jurassic Park 3 at the end. And that's even kind of debatable too, because for some reason I kind of like Jurassic Park 3. It's often on TV, and I'll find myself watching it for some reason. So that, to me, that's a little bit debatable. I would have to go in more depth to give my official ranking between Dominion and Jurassic Park 3. But yeah, that is my review. I mean, if you guys saw it, what did you guys think about it? Comment below, let me know, and thank y'all for watching. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, please do so. That would mean an awful lot to me. Thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.